were able to do researches on an 8-block area and discovered that there was a pattern on every real estate transaction. What happened was that the real estate speculators, when the neighborhoods were changing, would come in. They'd buy from an outgoing white family, say for $15,000, and turn it around and sell it 2 days later, 3 days later for an African-American family for $30,000. In January of 1968, we had a meeting in the basement of Presentation Church, and a woman, Ruth Wells, who was another contract buyer, stood up and told her story. And then after she finished, everybody talked, and you almost couldn't stop them from talking. At those meetings, Clyde and his brother-in-law, Charlie Baker, who were the principal leaders of the Contract Buyers League, would give an explanation to the families and ask them if they were interested in doing the payment strike.
A lot of people were afraid of this stuff, you know, getting thrown out of their houses in the middle of the street. And people didn't know what to do about that. And so we had to keep talking to them and get them involved in this thing.
There were many ugly things about the contract selling. They could be evicted from their homes if they missed a payment without all the procedures that were necessary if you had a mortgage.
The people didn't understand that the sheriff coming out here with a bunch of people coming out here with guns and blue suits, and they really didn't know what was going to happen, you know. They thought maybe somebody would kill them, you know. My wife said I was crazy. I said, we got to help the people stay in the house. She said, what are we going to do if they come and evict us? I said, we're going to do just like the rest of the people, try to put it back in. In a year's time, we've turned them around, the year's time. And people, they would walk before the sheriff and put their furniture back in if they were thrown out, stuff like that. That was a pretty tough thing we did, you know.
Clyde was really an inspiration to a lot of people. He was far and away the best speaker of all, and the stories would go from scriptural references to plain old stories. One was that he said in Mississippi, you know, you would have a cow and you'd tie the cow to a post and they'd go around and graze within the circle, and then they'd take the chain off and the cow stayed in the circle because they were so used to it.
I said, this is what we got to do. We got to pull beyond the chain. Just keep on pulling. The chain is not that anymore. And this is what we did. And we got other people do that same thing, you know, until our meetings got to be thousands of people, you know, from 200 or 300 to thousands.
It was a perfect example of leadership coming from within the community. I consider it an honor to have known Clyde for the last 45 years and believe that my life is much richer for him having been a part of it. I consider him to be a great human being, and he is clearly one of the heroes of my life.
Well, I don't know if I call myself a hero or not. Somebody else has to do that.